Today's podcast is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. I recently joined as a member and you can too. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co. And remember to include the name The Scoreless Thriller Podcast in your application. Thank you.
Man there trying to stop Drogba getting himself into further trouble.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Oh, it's not a bad ball for Pele on the right side. It's Carlos Alberto. Oh, what a great goal that was! Carlos Alberto.
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Valdano smokes and Maradona! They're appealing for offside. The ball came back off the foot of Steve Hodge. And Maradona gives Argentina the lead. The England players protesting to the referee.
De halve finale komen. Ik heb opeens zo'n gevoel dat we in de halve finale gaan komen. Met het balbezit voor Frank de Boer. Frank de Boer speelt de bal. Heel goed naar Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp neemt de bal aan. Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Oh! Frank de Boer speelt de bal naar Dennis Bergkamp. Die neemt de bal feilloos aan. En die schiet de bal erin.
Hello and welcome to the special edition of the Scoreless Thriller Podcast. I'm joined as always by Leon. Leon, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing okay. Doing fine, very excited for today.
Yeah, we've got a really exciting thing coming up to show you today on the podcast. You know, last time we discussed the film Next Goal Wins and discovered all about the American Samoan team. Well, I sent off a few emails and managed to get in touch with the person who I think is the star of the story and sort of the main protagonist. And we're going to share with you, as you can see probably from the title of this podcast, an interview with the goalkeeper Nicky Salapu, which I think was a really, really insightful and really an amazing discussion.
Yeah, and it's absolutely fantastic that we got this opportunity. I'm so happy to share this with you, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it can't really be understated sort of how impressive or how sort of interesting a character Nicky is as the goalkeeper who's played for almost 20 years for the American Samoan team, turned up year after year just at his own cost and, you know, to represent his country and fight against, you know, this incredible sort of underdog story. So I just wanted to share, Larry Manoa is one of the coaches of the American Samoan team and he's in the film as well. And this is how he described Nicky Salapu in a email to me. He is a passionate and dedicated personality. He is humble and internally optimistic. Of all the individuals for Next Goal documentary, the one that resonates most is Nicky's story. No one can understand the pain he went through, and to come out the other side with his optimism and belief, he is truly a warrior. And I think that, you know, sums it up.
That sums it up.
It sums it up better than ever I could. So the next voice you'll hear will be his, and
So get comfy, get a drink and enjoy, I guess. What's the link to being part of the national team for American Samoa?
Yeah, what's the sort of pipeline? How did you go through the age grades and end up in the national team?
I didn't go to American Samoa until I was like 19.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in my whole life in Winston, Samoa. So I start there was a tryout for a U12 in Samoa, and I played goalkeeper, and they selected me to be a goalkeeper for their U12. Then we went to New Zealand. And that's how I started, from U12, U15, U17, U19, and then I ended up playing for the Winston Samoa national team, our rival.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to play against American Samoa back then. So, and later on, when my grandparents passed away and who raised me, so I ended up going back to American Samoa, and they were having a tryouts for Australia, and one of the coach in American Samoa saw me and is like, "Oh, you used to play for Winston Samoa."
Yeah.
So they ended up selecting me as a goalkeeper. And that's how we ended up playing in Australia.
The one match.
Yeah. I promise we're going to talk about like much happier memories, but we must cover the Australia stuff. So how many caps did you have before you played that Australia game? Like how many times had you played for American Samoa before then?
That was my first one.
That was your first cap.
And then, in addition to that, there were some passport issues, right? So,
yes.
Not all the people that were selected to play against Australia could actually make it, right?
Yeah, if we have all the players that were supposed to take it with us in Australia, that amount of goal would never reach that, it wouldn't be 31. It would have probably 5 or 6 or who knows. But most of the players that we have, it was like some of them were semi-pro from Costa Rica, Panama, Chile. They were all the guys from the boat, and then they play soccer down there in the island.
Yeah.
And then some of them was from New Zealand. There was like 2 players from New Zealand were supposed to play for us, and there was like 4 national players from Winston Samoa was supposed to play for us. So it would be a good squad to represent American Samoa against Australia, but it didn't happen. So
yeah, and then
I ended up.
There were a couple of players that had never played like a full 90 minutes match before. Or is that a myth? I read it somewhere.
So all the kids that were playing for, all the kids were selecting for that competitions. Some of them were never play soccer in their lives, because the only way we can take them is like they have passports.
Yeah.
So we have 4 kids from elementaries.
Yeah, that's insane.
So there were 8 graders, 4 of them, and most of them were high school. And there was only 2 of us that was old.
Yeah.
In the teams. I was 20, and then the other guy was like 24. The oldest guy was 24.
Yeah. The average age was incredibly low, right? And I mean, it has to be such a happening for these high school boys to suddenly become part of the national team and play against Australia. I guess that's such a big happening, right? But then for the goalie who has to, stand between the posts and make it all work and try to save all these balls, it has to be kind of frustrating, right? I saw like this one picture of you where you're like in child's pose on the ground, and you could tell that this was like a lot to take.
It was exhausting.
Yeah.
Not only physically, but mentally, frustrating, because it's like I was trying to save as much as I can, play as hard as I can, but it didn't go anywhere. So I try really hard, to keep going, but at the same time, I was like really exhausted.
Did you have how did you mentally approach the game? Like, was there things in your head you were trying to repeat to yourself to keep yourself motivated and go through it, or how was the sort of your kind of mental space? Because also it was your first cap, so how were you trying to compartmentalize this?
Don't know what to do, because it's like I never played with these kids before, because we just put the team together in 2 weeks and then we go to Australia. So I have no chemistry, no any communications with the players. It's like, so all these kids, they don't even really know how to play soccer, or I try really hard to communicate most of them, but they couldn't even know exactly what football, how to play, or how to, to put yourself in there, because all of them, they're their first time playing against the national level. Myself, I was playing a bunch of games before I moved to American Samoa. But the only way I was keeping myself calm and I'm representing my country. I have to do something. The only way I can protect the goal is to keep to be strong for the teams, and then to keep motivating the boys to keep going. I was the captain of the team, and I was trying to make sure that I was I was there for them. It didn't affect me what the outcomes was. I just love football.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. So.
Yeah.
This might be an odd question, but have you ever, like, in the years since, thought, like, maybe was it right for them to keep on running up the score? Because, given the particular circumstances of you playing with these elementary kids on this team and this particular situation, that they maybe should have taken some of that into account rather than keeping to try and run up the score?
I can't say anything about that because this football is football, but like you say, it's like to be sportsmanship and to be fair for us, it's like they shouldn't even run the goal, the score that high. They should know by like halftime they already like 16-0. They should know that we're not that good, and I don't know. It's like everyone have a different way of playing or a different way of coaching. For me, it didn't affect me because it's like I was still trying to, take care of that post and make sure.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering about, I guess, is that afterwards, right? You return to American Samoa, and then you have the first training again after this defeat. How do you rekindle the spirits? How do you get everyone to get enthusiastic about the game again and start giving it the best they can?
I was like, I was still like keep going and like, to keep motivating, to be a good ambassador for the young generations, and to be passionate for the game that I love, and to keep motivating the young generations to become better idols for American Samoa in football.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all about passions and love for the game. So.
And I guess then the big turning point, at least from the perspective of the documentary that we saw, was then that a new coach came in, right? You had eventually Thomas Rongen, who appeared in American Samoa and tried to prepare you for the World Championship qualifiers.
I didn't even know that he was there until he called me and asked me to come play for American Samoa. So when I went down there, he's already been trained with the players and and then with other coaches, and he was already there before I got there. But it was an exciting thing for us.
Yeah.
To have someone have the passions for the game and have the love for the game, and it's a new experience for us and good quality of coaching. So, but I was very excited when I spoke to him on the phone before I flew down there in the island to meet him.
Yeah, how did the call go? What did he say? We need you.
He asked me if I can come play one more time for American Samoa.
Because by that time,
if I can help out.
Yeah, because by that time, you already said 2 times that this is it, or once before.
Yeah, after the tournament in New Caledonia for the South Pacific Games, I thought I was gonna be done. Because I have a wife and a kid, and a son over here in Seattle, and then I thought I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna quit the national team for a while.
Yeah.
But the passions for football is never doubted my mind. So, so when he called me, I was like, you know what? Maybe I would give one more chance.
Were you aware that there was a film crew already there filming the team, or? Oh, I guess you had been, because in the previous tournament they'd been there as well.
Yeah, I didn't even know until the South Pacific game.
Okay.
When I flew down there to go with the team in New Caledonia, I just realized there is a film crew down there, to film us, and then I was a little bit intimidated by it because I didn't even know what to expect.
Were you a little wary of the film crew being there, in that, you know, you didn't want them to be sort of, I don't know, to be like exploitative of the team or something?
No, I was not worried. I was like a little bit feel kind of awkward and weird because I didn't even know what to expect. Like, you know, I might ended up perform really bad or perform really good or whatever. It's like, you know, but like filming, it wasn't like bad at all for me, but it was kind of weird, like for my experience.
Yeah, like a new experience.
Yeah, it was the first experience I ever had, but it was a good thing that they captured, like, you know, the great moments for us. So it was a good thing. It was like a good thing to remember. It's like a good memory. So for us to, you know.
How many times would you say you've seen the film?
Probably 20 times already.
What's your most favorite part?
Probably 20 times, because it's like every time I go to a film festival or a premiere or whatever, I always watch it. And then there's a lot of every time I watch it, I still have, like, you know, that feeling, that great feeling, great moments, feelings, like, you know, in some part of the film.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even we had like these feelings and the goosebumps.
Yeah, me certainly.
Alex in particular. Some tears in his eyes. He was rooting for you hard.
The film has managed to make me cry twice, Nicky.
Yeah.
You know, when I was watching the film, I took my family with me one day, like in the other part of Washington, to a film festival was been, and me and my family were there the first time, and it was a great feeling, great moments, like, you know, to experience with my son and my wife. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Because every premiere that I go, it was, you know, I go by myself, but the first time I ever go with my wife and my son, it was the best experience I ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that does sound so lovely. I mean, it probably also was a pretty good feeling when you actually won the first match in the qualifiers, right? The final whistle.
That is like the best moments, like, for me. That's the best moments, like, I ever felt like before. Like, me, like, feel really humble and a good sad feeling. Like, you know,
bittersweet.
It's like it's like an excited moment. You know, it's like make me feel like I want to, like, just feel like crying every single time. I feel like I want to go back and play that game again and over and over and over again. So,
yeah,
it's like, you know.
Is that definitely your best feeling on a football pitch, as in like the full-time whistle at that game of your career?
Yeah, it was the best feeling. After that game, I was like, I didn't even know what the right word to describe, or what. I feel like I was still dreaming that I want to win the first game. It's like, it wasn't a dream. It's like, it's a real thing happened, and then it's like, oh my God, I can't believe we just win our first game ever, first match, a first national match.
Yeah.
You know, as American Samoan team.
Going into that game, did you think that you stood a chance of winning it? You know, after all the training with Thomas Rongen, did you think that was kind of the game against Tonga was the game to target?
Our main goal was like to win that first game. I have a huge amount of faith with my players and the American Samoan. I give all the credits to the American Samoan, the FFAS, for allowing us to come play for our national team. And we have a huge amount of faith and then the spirit that we boost up on that before the game start, we have a huge amount of like excitement and confidence that we can win that first game. And then that was our biggest goal. Our biggest goal, what Thomas was saying, is like to win that first game to look forward for the next one. So yeah, we put all our efforts and our and our faith to each other's to make sure that we have to win that game. But without a doubt, I have a huge amount of trust to our players that we're gonna win that game. So and then we did it. So
what was the resonance that you got back home, like in American Samoa?
American Samoa was like, it's a huge football, like American football fans.
Yeah.
In soccer, it's like a little bit amount of fans in American Samoa. It's not huge. So we just hear all this news, all the news from American Samoa, like everyone was excited and happy, and there were some of them were just like, going on the road with the cars was like beeping on the horns, like, on the road. It was a great feeling for us. It's like we accomplished something huge,
Yeah.
We succeed something that we never have before, and we are ambassador for our country, and we make them proud.
And I mean, it was also well recognized in international media, right? Like, I think the New York Times wrote a piece about it and everywhere. So it was a big, big, big thing that happened.
I didn't even know it was going to be that huge. But it's huge for us because we've been suffering for that 31-0.
Yeah.
So once we have that win, we knew that was going to be a big story for us. And it was kind of awesome that we watched the news like the following day at night before another game against Cook Island. We just saw that on the news from New York. It's just shocking for us. So to be honest,
it's crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, and it's exciting. So
no, of course. What do you think, though, Thomas Rongen attributed most to this win? Like, what was the quality that he could give you guys that make the biggest change?
Thomas was like a very, very passionate coach. Like, the quality that he brought in for our national team was way different. Like, with Thomas, it's like he's always by points. He always by the truth of soccer, and he's not like I don't know how to describe, but he's very, very specific in everything.
Yeah.
He's always like in good points of football.
Yeah.
He's never like, he's an awesome coach, to be honest. Very, 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 very supportive and motivators, like, to all the boys. He got a good spirit in football. He had the most he had passions, and he is like very, very, the personality. Yeah, he's a great person. It's like, overall.
Were you a little intimidated by him at the start? Because he seems very strict and sometimes even a bit harsh in the documentary, especially at the beginning. But then eventually you'll find out that he puts all his heart and all his effort into this team. But at the beginning, I was wondering whether he comes off as a bit strict.
Yeah, when I was playing for a team in Australia called Palm Beach, there was some coach from Ireland, from Wales, from Scotland that was coaching our team in Australia. So yeah. I didn't even have any fear or anything, because it's like, but strict is very good for football in our country. So for me, it's a really good thing for our national team because we need that structure, and Thomas gave us that, and he is very disciplined coach. Like he disciplined us very well. He teach us how to discipline the game, how to honor the game, and how to respect the game. And that's the thing I love about him. It's like, it's all about respect.
Yeah, so he brought discipline and structure to the passion.
Yeah, exactly. He has a very good amount of respect and passion. So he taught us that it's not like a coach that you see that much just like yelling and screaming and that like Thomas is not that kind of person until like you made a mistake, and then he will yell at you. But if you're doing good or like the team is doing good, he will keep motivating you to to be part of the game. Just like don't lose that focus, don't lose that mentality of like when you're playing a game. So he's a very, 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 very awesome human, like respect coach. So.
Have you been able to keep in touch with him in the years since?
Now and then we just chat on Facebook, but he's a very busy man right now. So I wish to coach us again to that. The 2015 qualify in Tonga. I don't mean to say anything against Larry. Larry is a great coach. He's a great guy. He's a very awesome person. But for me, I would have Thomas to come over and coach us. That we would have won that tournament. To be honest.
Because in 2015 you go even closer, right? I think you win 2 games. Is that correct?
Yes, we were very close. Like we lost by 1 point again. So in 2011 we lost by 1 point against Samoa, and then 2015 we lost by 1 point against Samoa again.
Okay, so it really In the film, Thomas Rongen refers to American Samoa and Samoa as the Classico, so I guess it keeps up.
It's a rival.
A big thing.
Yeah, we always rival. Like us. When I was playing it for Samoa, against American Samoa, it's always like not a rival, because it's like we always win against American Samoa. It's like it never be a good team. It's like like we always like every time we face against American Samoa, it's like we're counting a win already.
Yeah.
Like it's never doubt in our mind. Like when I was playing goalkeeper for for the Samoan team, it's like it's never a rival thing. It's like we never doubt that we're gonna win. It's an easy win for us.
Yeah.
But when I came back and play against and play for American Samoa, we become rival. We become really good rival, because it's like we create this new good players in American Samoa, and then when I was there, it was like we have a huge amount of players that have passions and love for the game. So like most of us growing up together for American Samoa, it's like we've been playing together for a while. We've been playing together for a while, and we trying to accomplish something against the Samoan team, because they always tell us it's like we are the team that anyone can win against. So so we try to change that.
Show them it.
Yeah, we try, because Tonga will say it's like, oh, it's automatic win for us. Okay. Samoa is like, it's automatic win for us. Cook Island is like, it's automatic win for us. So for us, it's like we try to change that that mentality of losing.
Yeah, that narrative.
Yeah.
So how has it been going since 2015? Like more recently, How is the national team doing?
Yeah, is there many of the same players from the film, like, or is it a lot of the team changed?
The whole team changed.
Okay.
Except Ramin, Art, me, and who else? I think it was only me and Ramin Art. It was like the only players left from. Oh, and Larry's nephew,
Okay.
Justin. We are the only three left from that national team. Everyone disappeared. So, all the players that was playing the 2011, they all married and go to the military. But me and Ramin Art, we never lost faith to try to accomplish that first win. Like, in the first round, unfortunately, I didn't play a single game in 2015 because I have no idea what happened to that situation. I wish I was playing because if I did play, it would be a different outcomes.
Oh,
okay.
But wait! You were you not invited, or were you benched?
I was there, but I never played. I was on the bench the whole time.
Okay.
That was the unfortunate part. So after the tournament, I went back to Samoa to visit my family.
Yeah.
To my mom, and I don't know if you ever heard of the guy named Desmond Faiwaso. He's one of the best players for Samoa. We grew up together and we live in the same village.
Yeah.
So he told me specific that they were very lucky. Because that when they saw me sitting on the bench, they were like, have the huge amount of faith that they're going to win.
Yeah.
Because if I was playing, because that was our first game, Samoa was our first game in 2015. And then the only way that they can lose that game is like because I know how to read most of them because I play against them like growing up. So they were very, very excited when they saw me on the bench. They were like, it was a huge excitement for them that they're gonna win the game. So
yeah, but especially considering that you had so much knowledge about these players and also the way they play. Has it been explained to you afterwards why you were on the bench?
I don't know what exactly happened. I went there for the huge amount of faith that I was gonna play to, that I was gonna win the first round.
Yeah.
I went there. I was like. Because the team camped over in Seattle before we went there, like most of the players that went there, that we went, they know me really well. They really want me to play, but somehow the coach didn't want me to play. Somehow, I have no idea.
Okay.
But the players was shocked. Was like, how come you didn't play? How come if you were playing? We would have won the game.
Yeah.
All the players was keep telling me that, and my family over in Seattle, my wife and my son was like, piss off.
Yeah.
They were really mad.
Yeah, of course.
They would keep checking the like the roster and everything. Like because they would keep up with with our team when we were down there in Tonga. So my wife was very mad at the situations, and my son was like devastated by it. So
no, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I felt really bad.
Told him I kept asking what you did wrong.
Yeah, so I have no idea. Most of my the fans over in Seattle. Some of the guys from there in England. Some of the guys that live in Hawaii. They were calling me nonstop. It's like, what happened? Why you didn't play? Why didn't play at all?
Yeah. I guess they should have
And
called
then
the coach.
even Thomas, like, you know, asked me why I didn't play.
Yeah.
And, you know, so everyone was like completely devastated by it. I didn't even, you know, I don't mean like, you know, I'm the best goalkeeper in the world or whatever, but I would have, you know, like, you know, do something that is going to make us, like, you know, win that first round.
Yeah.
You'd like to know at least why.
Yeah. But then more recently, have you been playing since? Like in the team as the goalkeeper, as number one?
Right now, I haven't been playing until like last year.
Yeah.
I went back and played for the South Pacific game that was hosted in Samoa. We did play, and we didn't do good. We ended up tied one game, but we lost like against like Fiji, Papua New Guinea, and Vanuatu. So we didn't have a good squad, but we did really well. Like I said, like, you know, all different players, and I didn't really connect with most of them because it's like they're all new, and then and it was exciting. It's like back on the field. It was really, really exciting for me. I was like really, really honored to be back on the national team. So I was excited and look forward to it. To going one more time this year, but the coronavirus like shut down everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah. All around the world.
yeah. It's kind of sad because it's like I was supposed to, like, you know, I'm still like doing soccer and I'm still doing my training, like, you know, normal trainings like for goalkeeper. Like look forward to when things open up. I will definitely, like, you know, to be honored to play one more time for the national team.
Yeah.
Before I give up, you know, before I not give up, but before I hang my shoes and call it good.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
you got one more World Cup qualifiers. Is that the aim?
Yeah. One more time. That goal that I'm still chasing is like to win that first round.
Yeah. And have a rematch against
So-
Australia, right? That's also what you said.
Yeah.
You know, it would have. I talked to Cahill,
Yeah.
Team Cahill
Yeah.
in New York because he was there in watching the film with us. He brought his two sons and meet with me over there. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good guy. Awesome player. Awesome, you know, have a lot of passions for the sport. But I spoke to him and I talked to him and I was like, hey, how about if we can have one more times, like, you know, one more for the, you know, one more rematch
Yeah.
before we both go, you know. And he laughed and then he's like, yeah, we definitely need to do that. And then I was like, I look forward to it. I can't wait to play against you one more time before I'm done with the national team.
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
But
In the
but he agreed.
Also, I guess you could get quite a lot of publicity for this match, right? Like people would be so interested.
You know, it would be awesome. It's like I asked him if we're gonna have a charity tournament. You know, like a
that'd be
rematch,
perfect.
like a charity for football, for both countries, like American Samoa and Australia. So it would be
sounds
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's especially since there's gonna be the new Hollywood adaptation coming out, right? Of the documentary, so there's probably going to be a lot of interest on this whole issue. So one might use this to make this kind of happening take place, I guess.
Yeah, it would be awesome if they say it's like if the movie is going to be premiere in Australia. That would be a very good honor for me to go there.
Yeah.
If the movie premiere in Australia. Because if I go there I would ask Australia if we can create a charity tournament, like American Samoa against Australia, like one time, like just something that that benefits, like the young generations that love football, or it's like
A good cause.
so.
They have not reached out to you to like clarify stuff, or I don't know.
No, they haven't even said anything. So they haven't even reached me at all and talk about what's going on or anything like that. So I'm just a guy who loves football,
Yeah.
not an actor.
It's the best.
I mean,
Yeah.
on that note, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's all about passion and love for the game. Not an actor or a film celebrity. So
yeah, yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, we totally agree. I think on that note, I think that's a great on the idea of the sort of passion for football is a good point to end this discussion.
But thank you so much. I mean, the documentary was inspiring, but it
Yeah.
was also so interesting and valuable for us to be able to talk to you, and for you to talk us through everything that happened.
it's an honor. It's like it's a blessing for me and my family to talk to you. I give all credits to the American Samoan Football Associations and all the players that was playing for the national teams. I give all the credits to them and the coaches and the CEO for the American Samoan teams and all the players. I give them all the credits.
Yeah.
So without them, I wouldn't be playing for the national team.
You've
So-
gained 2 American Samoan super fans, at least in Denmark.
My huge idol right now, it's my wife and my son. So
Yeah.
they are the one who support me like all the way
Yeah.
through now.
Is your son a
For
footballer too?
He retired.
He peaked.
No, he's a good footballer. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
He used to, when he was 10 years old or 9 years old, he used to play for the U13.
Okay.
He used to play against, when he was 10 years old, he played against the 15 years old in the club. So he's
That's
a very,
impressive.
very good player. Very. And right now his passion is it's basketball because he's tall.
Okay.
He's
Makes
very
sense.
tall.
It's
So,
a good skill. to have.
but he is a great soccer player. We always go right now.
Yeah.
We always go to the soccer field and play. We're still playing on the soccer field every Saturday for 2 hours.
Well, but
So-
that has to be so lovely if you've got like a boy with whom you like a son with whom you can play and go out and hit the pitch and stuff. Sounds amazing.
My huge dream was I wish it's I was still 20 or 30 something, 35.
Yeah.
Because I wish it's he's 16 and then I can play with him in the national team. That would be cool.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be grand.
That would be a really awesome thing. But but right now it's we play on the we go play every Saturday. He's really good on passing, or scoring goal from halfway. Sometimes I get frustrated and because he keeps shooting the ball harder at me when I'm doing my training. So when he score against me, it's we smack talk against each other.
Some banter.
Yeah.
So when we play video games, it's always about smack talking, and if I score a goal, I would jump up and running around
Yeah.
and screaming.
Yeah.
But I always get beat up in the end. So
No, but that's good. Some
then-
healthy competition. That's what you want.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like it's a really good, awesome feeling. It's like when you're having a 12-year-old, like beating you up on the soccer field and beating you up on the video games.
Yeah. No, but that's what you want, right? Carrying on
Yeah.
the passion.
He's a huge fan of Ronaldo, Cristiano.
Okay.
Yeah, he bought this jersey, like $130, like Ronaldo on it.
Wow.
Why would you
Yeah.
buy a Ronaldo jersey if you could have a Nicky jersey? That's
Yeah, so he bought it on his own money because he referees soccer.
Oh,
so
cool.
he makes good money on doing refereeing soccer.
Maybe he'll referee a game you're playing in someday then.
I hope so. He keeps telling me that he loves to give me a red card.
Yeah.
I think that's a dream for any son to send off his dad.
Yeah.
That will be the time I'm gonna be retired.
Yeah, I've had enough. Okay.
All right, we won't take any more of your Sunday.
No, but thanks again so much for your love and your passion.
We appreciate it and we thank you.